Hallo Klickenabendler, we are still at Emperor S4 and now comes the big game which Winnie will explain to us.
Yes.
It's called Realms of Sand.
That's right, Realms of Sand, and it's a tile laying game. And this is one of our the most popular game this year for us at Essen. We have actually already sold out of it today, yesterday morning. Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. All
So
right.
this is a very simple game to learn. You're basically trying to on your player board here, we have an area here that you can put your tiles on it. And then you're trying to make the shape that's the same as the buildings that we have in the center.
Which you see here, all right.
Yes. And then if you do that, you can get the building, and then there's points and whatnot, bonuses on the card. So how you play the game. First, each player will have already starting with 3 tiles in front of them. That's what you can work with. So in your turn, there is one mandatory action. That is put down a tile or put up to 3 discs. How do you get this? We will explain a little bit later. So, if you have to choose a tile and put it on your board here in the light area. So, once you decide where you want to put it, you have to break it up into these tiny squares, and then you will just put it on your board in the same location, the same shape, and then you will return this to the end of the line, and then you will pick from the first to one of the one you want and put it back to your area.
All right.
Okay? And if after a few turns you have made some shapes, and then after you can see if your shape matches one of the buildings over here. For example, I'm just gonna cheat. For example, I have something like this. It matches this card. And the mirror image, different position is also acceptable. So if it matches, I will have to remove the tiles that matches the card, and then put this back to the supply area. Then I will keep this card for myself. On the card, there are a few components. This corner here was the start. That means that's how many points you get from this card. On the bottom here, there's what the bonuses are. So you see this one, I have a red and a green disc. This is how you get the disc we mentioned earlier. So you just take them and put it on the side of your board for later use. And then some other cards, there are a little hourglass with a number on top. That means how far along we're on the game. If a player has a total of 10 or more hourglass, that will indicate that will be the last round, and everyone finished their turn, and we'll calculate the scores. Okay, so you get the cards, and then you continue on with the next turn. So on the cards, there are some things you would notice. First of all, there are level 1, 2, and 3 cards. So they have increasing difficulties, but also increasing rewards. On the 3rd level, you can see that there are some yellow and blue tiles, which you cannot get from the basic tiles. To get those, you must from the 2nd floor, get it from the bonus on the 2nd floor. So you have to build from the 1st floor all the way up, 1st level all the way up in order to be able to get these. Because
that's why you are using the discs then.
Yes, so it's a little bit different. And when you place the disc, as we mentioned before, you can either place the tile or the disc. The discs are very good tools, because you can place up to 3, and then you can play them separately anywhere on your board. Okay, and then when you use it up, for the squares you put them back to the supply, but for the disc you just move them to the side. You can use it later again. So it's kind of like a reusable resource. Okay, and then another thing we have is on some of the cards, the bonus is you have a little square that says +1. If you have this bonus, you can move your track here, right here, up 1. It means that when you're building, you can actually use one of the dark squares, so expand your area. Okay, so that's pretty much the game. That's the basic game. And then, if you see our player board, this first side, everyone has the same square and there's no power. But if you want, you can flip it over. It's a little bit different. So there is a special power. Each player has a different special power, and then your area,
the shape
here,
is
the shape
different.
is a little bit different. Depending on if it's a very strong power, you will have a little more difficult, harder shape to work with. And for this side, it's very easy. When the game pretty much plays the same, except for when if you remove tiles, you use up this tile, and then it shows one of this gem here. Then you can charge your special power, and then we will have a special.
And with gems,
token.
you pay the special power.
And then, so if you charge it, you flip it over. There's a color here. It's charged. Next time, during your turn, you can use this power once. Once you use it,
You flip it over
you flip
again.
it over again. Yeah. So if it's already charged and you charge it again, it's too bad.
All right.
Okay. So this is pretty much how Ramsen plays. It's very easy to learn, but there's actually a lot of player interaction because you're all working toward the same goals. And then if you add this little the advanced rules in, it'll be a lot of fun.
All right. So
Yeah, and it's a very beautiful game. It catches the eyes, a lot of people's eye. It's a very beautiful artwork. Yeah.
right, and it's a lot of fun. And you
Yes.
can play it easy or hard.
Yes, and it's actually 1 to 4 players, so you can challenge yourself and just play with one player as well.
Great. So that's your big box game.
Yes.
What does this game cost?
This is 33 euros. Yes, and then currently we're sold out, and
Yes.
we hope to find some European partners that will bring the game to Europe very soon next year.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Wish you a nice last 2 days.
Yes, thank you very much.
And
We're
Hopefully
very
see you next year, right?
definitely we will be coming back next year. This year is our first time having our own booth. We are very happy with the way it turned out, and we're hopeful for next year as well.
Great. See you then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.